if that's
Okay.
okay.
Oh,
I
wait,
want, I
pause
want
one
to,
second. What I noticed before, and this is actually only yesterday, I could click on these and I could actually see some results. Yesterday it was giving me the amount spent. So if I do it over a lifetime, yeah.
yeah, let's start fresh because well, I mean, do you want to base it off data from 2017? A lot of
To be
algorithm
honest,
changes have happened.
no. But if you can
Okay.
cast your eyes on it for a moment, just in the summary format, just so you get an idea of how quickly the price per lead just skyrocketed. So essentially, what I'm marketing here right now with this ad set, I don't know what you guys call it over there. So it's sort of like in-law accommodation, right? What do you guys call that sort of a structure? Do you call it in-law, like a back house, uh, in-law accommodation? What do you guys refer to it as? So you've got your main dwelling at the front, and then you've got a secondary dwelling at the back.
Oh, it's like a guest house or a maid's
Like a
quarters
guest,
for
okay,
us.
spot on, nailed it, right? So in Australia, they call guest houses, they refer to them as granny flats, right? Because traditionally your grandparents or your elder parents
Oh, gotcha.
would have somewhere to live. So what I did is I kind of took what you guys use as a guest home and I registered that as the business name, right? As well, as
Yeah.
the business name, because I
See,
hate the word granny flat. So what I've done is I've pitched it in two ways. I've said we can do a granny flat, which is your conventional, very basic, two-bedroom home, or we can deck it out with some amazing inclusions inside, and those I'm marketing as granny flat, as guest homes. So I've got two product price points for that, just to give you a bit of context.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. That works. And also, like, to start here, right? What I recommend you to do is build at least 5 ads. Okay.
Okay.
5 ads, just like you had before with those carousels, which are the ones that are have the sliders,
Yep.
right? And then single image, do 5, and then have 5 different copy variations, which is actual ad copy, and then have a few different headlines. So that way we get a good mix and variation of stuff to see what's really going to work and convert.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, man. Complete sense.
And do you know what images
I've got the
and
images folder down there. Yeah. So I've got a folder open on the desktop now with the applicable images on there.
I'm ready.
So what you've got in
Granny
front of you
flats.
is ad number one, right?
Oh,
The
you already got
text,
it.
the audio, the duration, the budget, and the images. Ad number two, there's your text, your headline, so on and so forth, same as the above. Ad number three, ad number four.
Are these like psychic powers, or did you already have this up before?
I did this morning, man, to be honest with you, when I first woke up. That's why I got up early. I was like, I've got to prep for this.
That's hilarious. I love that. Awesome. Well, there you go. Those perfect. Then that part's done. The next thing is we need to do ad sets split out by audience type. So one ad set audience per, like, only one interest per ad set, okay? Or one location per ad set. So that way we can split the data and really understand what's converting.
Yep. Okay.
So you will know best what those interests would be in terms of, what the lifestyle is, what is it that they are interested in, are they wanting to move, is it people who just recently got married that are looking to, create a new home because they don't like their, spouse's current place, or they both are ready to have kids and they think they need a new sweet place they got to have built, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
See, right now the
inherited a
audience
load of
that I've
income
got,
and now they're really wanting to upgrade. There's so many cases.
well, the audience that I've got right now is very wide. So I've set it more so as a radius from a service area. Um, if you later on when you have a look, you'll see the audience that I'm referring to.
What we're going to do here is start with a non-CVO. Okay, non-CVO means it's not a campaign budget optimization.
Okay.
That just means that you're going to be placing your ad budget on the ad set level instead of the campaign level.
Right.
Now, what we're going to do is, what areas do you serve? All of Australia?
No, so we're only doing 32 kilometers from our office. So if you go up, for example, to saved audience, I'll show you what I'm referring to. Yeah, and then if you go down, you say, keep going down, 32 kilometers. So down to the one more, under where it says Meadowbank. Yeah. That's the one.
Okay, so this is Meadowbank. So do you want to type that in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah, just go ahead and find that. Great. So what we want to do is keep this as simple as possible. Make these naming conventions as easy to understand as possible. I can't click that. Do you mind changing that to 32 like you said?
Yep.
The 16 right
Red.
here.
Yeah, my bad.
Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. Just, are you on a Mac? I believe you are. Yeah.
I am.
So we're then going to do Command V, and then we're just going to do plus 32 km, so that way we know. Got it? And then for the age, I'm assuming, I mean, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, 18-year-olds you work with?
No way, no. So the minimum age is going to be about 28.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And okay, and you're 100% positive.
Every client I've had has been in their at the earliest late 20s, and even then, still not many at all. So I'd say that over 30 is when it starts really picking up. 30 to 60 is the main age demographic. I thought if we capture a little bit younger, that would be all right. But yeah, you tell me.
Interesting. Well, you know, culturally speaking, it could be totally different for you versus the American side of it. So, but our perspective is that typically, like, women will end up getting married at like 21, 20, and a lot of them usually have kids and are, if they've married into wealth, they're around the age of anywhere between like 25 to 28, and usually are making decisions like, you know, deciding whether or not they want to pull in their backyard, deciding if they want to move with their husband. But he ends up
So
making the
let's change it
decision
to
on
25.
finances.
Yeah, let's change it to
But is
25.
that the same for, does that hold true for you?
That does hold true for us. Yeah. Yeah. I think when it comes to a lot of the younger ones tend to buy what's already created and sort of stick to that because it's such a big financial commitment that they don't really have the funds after purchase to start playing around. But look, 25 is an interesting number. So yeah, it gives us a rounded figure more so.
Got it. We're going to leave automatic placements on
Okay.
because we want to be able to reach the highest number of people, and it's also going to make it a lot more competitive for you.
Yep.
And then we're actually, and then you said 65 plus as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then what we're going to do.
No, my last ad set had 62 because that's generally retirement age. And people would have made their financial decisions prior to that.
Got it. So Granny's going in the backyard. She's not the one buying the primary house.
Exactly right. Yeah, her son or daughter would be.
Okay. We'll leave that open. All people. Yep. Rest of this is going to, yep, all this is going to be the same. And then strictly for the budget, for Australian dollars, I don't know if it's going to, typically what we start with is 5 daily. So to start, because we're going to test a high number of ad set variations. So it's going to add up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll do 5. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we're going to change this so that way we know that it's 25 to 62. Now we know exactly age 25 to 62, and then it's 32 kilometers of where you're located.
Yep.
Then we're going to hit continue. So $5 is probably not going to translate correctly, so we better do 10 just for your area.
Yeah, okay.
It still says that, but I think it'll be fine. We'll know. Then for this, same thing. You need to name it based off the image, and you got to name it based off what you put in the description. So you're going to paste these in here.
So I'm going to paste the names in there.
You're going to go through and paste all of this. And then
yeah.
for
Okay.
the form, yeah, this is fine. We'll test this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and paste all that.
Yep, sure. So your primary text appears. Should we provide a link as well, or no?
Yeah, drop your website there. So that way, if they don't complete the form, because like you got to think these people are going to want credibility. Like they want to make sure you're credible. They're going to look it up, and that's okay.
Right.
Let them do the research. But when they hit your site and do all the research, like we'll be able to still retarget them and stuff.
What do you say about the CTA? Is it more get a quote? Is it more learn more?
So get quote is going to have a higher conversion rate in terms of quality individuals, because if they know they want a quote, they're going to get a quote. It's going to cost more. But if you do learn more, then it's going to be people, you'll probably get more of them. And
Okay.
it's just going to be people with piqued curiosity. It doesn't necessarily mean they're ready. It might mean that, they briefly talked about it between one another, but, one of them is not on the same page. That's the type
So
of so get quote makes sense, but we're also going to test learn more. I would recommend it in another one.
perfect.
So for this, what I'd recommend is taking this.
Yep. Pasting it up there.
Yeah. You need more substance for this. So are you looking to maximize your rental income with a granny flat? I say yes. Then what? What's the response?
Then the response is we're providing, if you look in the description, it says from entry-level design homes, your options for your next investment are endless.
Put it in.
Or should I
Let's do
put
that.
something
I love that. No, that's good. So you're saying this one right here, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's drop it up here.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is
Mhm.
we're going to double your conversions right now. Let's go ahead and, so we don't want to repeat ourselves because that's not necessary. And then also we need to make this, there we go, so it's consistent. So where's your site?
So the site is the third tab across. Yep.
Okay. I like this a lot. I love this. This is your sub headline. This is your main headline. Every single time this changes, you're going to create an ad. So you're doing an ad with this. This is going to be your sub headline. This is going to be your main headline.
Nice.
If you can dream it, we can create it. So that's going to be your sub headline in this case because that's beautiful. And then of course we need to add in the correct grammar formatting for that. I believe we had a comma in there.
We did, yeah.
You can dream it, comma, we can create it is what I believe I remember.
That's it.
Yeah, most cases we don't do periods on subhead lines, so.
Mhm.
Main thing,
We could say we'll create it. That might be able to squeeze within that. Perfect.
boom, there you go. And yeah, just as long as that's the correct formatting for the grammar, we're good to go.
Now the image.
What's wrong with this one?
Oh, that's a very nice double-story home architectural design.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. I was like, oh, I like it.
So the one we can put here. What do you think of this one next to where it says PGH? So this one here.
Can you click it?
Do you think
No.
it's
So it
no?
needs to be far out landscape, like zoomed out. So just how this one gets the full shot, it's got to be the same way. And those are what convert. It gets you. It allows them to get the full picture in their mind. It
So
also has to have a center focal point, and the center focal point of that image is a pillar.
yes, okay. What about this one up here?
Yeah, that can work. That's one.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
a little bit more zoomed out, but we need to test multiple creatives so that way we know it works.
Or I can. What I'll do is I'll flick. Sorry, do you mind if I take the mouse for a sec?
Oh yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's multiple images. These are the images that I had selected for our meeting today. So if I go Control. So for example, that's going to be your higher end designer finish, right?
Yeah, I love it. Beautiful.
Do you think the interior shots are better or the exterior for the first image that in the carousel?
We will be able to say that with a definite answer once we see what the data looks like. But just from the shots, we need stuff that's going to have consistent coloring and lighting. So go back to those first few images you had. So these are all slanted, most part, likely just from the photo. They'll have to be corrected in terms of being landscaped and like these shots, right? Those first two you had, those were consistent. So that's good. This will also need to be tilted. So this is actually going to need a right tilt in the image. And it sounds crazy, but it's going to help.
Makes sense, man.
But yeah, this right here, that's perfect. That one's good to go because it's there's no tilt needed. There's no adjustment. Like the lighting's good. It's a good shot.
Okay. So should we add that one?
Yeah. And then moving forward for carousels and stuff, it has to have the same coloring and all that to make sure it's.
Oh, really?
In order to get the lowest conversion rate, I mean the highest conversion rate at the lowest cost and be able to outbeat your competitors without spending more money, it's going to be best quality wins. And in that case, it would be that.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, let's just go ahead and go with this one for a single image.
Yep. So 6B412. So 6B412. Oh, that's it. Let's just check. Yeah. So we'll take that. So if we say upload resource 6B412.
Pretty pumped about this.
Yeah, excited, huh? Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm just ready to like pop up here the next day and see what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, we'll hit continue. Perfect. So yeah, this will fit in almost all placements, if not all. Yeah, so we want to do this because Facebook's limited to 30 texts on mobile. Mobile's big, it's like the number one driving factor. So it's super important to make sure we are super concise with this. In most cases, splitting it out like this, you see, is
Yep.
outstanding. It works.
Mm,
People love
yeah.
short little reads. It's easy for the mind to digest and, it breaks it up. But in this case, I this ad would work like this, but we want to have at least some portion of this being seen. And in this case, it would need to be like this, just so that way we can get that extra bit. So that way we're not leaving the question too open-ended, and they actually see what the next part of it is, and it drives higher quality. We could always add another thing for. There we go. You already have it. That solved it. All right. You'll want to place a pixel on your site as well, which I believe you briefly mentioned that you're interested in learning more about that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so in the program, you'll probably have the email. So you'll just go ahead and join that, and then you'll be able to find the pixel video in there as well.
Fantastic.
And then you'll just turn that on afterwards. So we'll go ahead and confirm this and continue. And before we make this officially live, we're going to actually pause this campaign. So that way it gives you time to build out the additional audiences and get those other 5 ads there.
Yeah. Amazing.
And make sure to follow the same model. Add in those texts, do the sub headlines from the website that you were seeing, those specific things, because that's important.
Okay.
Build it out, add those 5 audience. I would do 5 audiences, 5 different ads. You can do 10 audiences if you want, but it's your budget. So it's dependent on how much you want to spend initially. Expectation wise, you got to be comfortable with spending money and not expecting any results to begin with, simply because you're testing and you need to find out what's receptive to the market in terms of messaging.
Well, man, the
And
problem was, right, with the audience. Now, because we've already gone out in a radius, am I now just going to start isolating interests? Or, I
to
mean, how
begin
many?
with, yes, until
Yeah.
we have additional data on what's quality. Do you have a customer list of 100 plus people that you've worked with in the past?
No.
Okay, yeah, so for now what we'll do is once that pixel's on your site, we'll start being able to capture data, but we're going to use interest to begin with.
Okay.
So you'll duplicate once you have those 5 ads. So make sure those 5 ads are in here. Let me review and publish this since that ad is, where is that ad actually? Should be in here. There it is. So yeah, you'll just duplicate this ad and you'll just repeat the process. Make the next ad, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate until you make more than 5 ads, more the merrier, because that gives us more options in identifying what's actually going to work and, really generate great results. Then for the audiences, you're going to duplicate the ad set and you're going to go down the line and choose a specific interest to test. 1 interest per ad set, no exclusions, no narrowing, no nothing, only 1 interest, no manual placements, only automatic, and then the exact same spend. That way it's even, it's fair, the data is going to be consistent, everything. That makes sense?
It does make sense. Yeah. I wonder
Perfect.
what happened.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we've cut out. Yeah, it looks like it's just not loading.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and this will also, you'll probably have questions popping up in your head as you're going through this, and that's totally fine. Put them down in like a docs.
Okay.
And whenever we get on that next call, we'll be able to go through all of those, and we'll make a
Sounds
ton
good.
of progress that way because we'll have a lot to work with.
If you could do one thing for me before you leave, can you duplicate that and pull up the audience for a moment?
Duplicate the audience.
Duplicate the ad that we've just done and then pull up the audience in the settings. And if you go to saved audience,
You just want to look at it?
I just want you to cast your eyes on it for a moment because you said one interest per ad set. So if you go down to 32 Metabank. Yeah, that one.
This won't work. It's too much.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just don't know what it is that's gonna, you get a quality lead out of here. What was it that made them quality? Did they come from the college grad? Did they come from some college? Did they come from, the in a relationship, right? We got to do one per each, because then you'll actually get the answer that you paid for. And it makes your dollar go so much further because you actually know it works. Because let's say that you do in a relationship and it starts producing quality like no other. Then we know for an absolute fact that every dollar should be going there because it's working. But we do some college and it's a flop. Now we know to never put our money there, and people who have some college just doesn't convert.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about, for example, you see above TV shows as an audience?
If you know the TV shows they do, go for it. If not, I would steer clear of it.
Okay. Yeah, man. Makes sense. Good advice.
Yeah. Sweet. And then just paste the interest name in the actual ad set name.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm super excited. Feel free to turn this on, so that way when we hop on the call, there would have already been some spend.
Yeah, exactly right, man. I'll be turning that on today, to be honest with you. I'll go through, do the duplicate ads, adjust it accordingly, and push it live. ASAP.
Sweet. Awesome.
Amazing. Chase, thank you for your help, my friend. I really appreciate that, bro.
I appreciate it too. It was nice speaking with you. And as soon as you schedule that call, we'll do it. And feel free to shoot me a text using that thing on the site as well. And then you also should have access to everything now in the program. So I look forward to our next call, and I'm super pumped.
Amazing. Thank you, Chase. And sorry for the confusion at the start, man, but do appreciate you.
Oh, no worries at all. We're good to go.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.